a huge mess of their recruitment. You take a look at the Premier League predictions that we gave you at the start of the season. No one had Chelsea in the top 4. Remember they had that pre-season in the States? Everything looked horrible. But Chelsea make it into Nedum's just. He's got Chelsea at 6. Elsewhere, I didn't have them, Stevie, Jules, and Nedum has them in a Europa League spot. What is really fascinating, I think, about Chelsea is all the criticism we threw at them pre-season. There's no leaders. There's no organisation. There's too many players. There's 100 people in the squad. Yet the manager has come in and somehow got them to gel together. And whether Chelsea fans like it or not, he likes it or not, they are title contenders. That's a huge surprise, isn't it, considering what we saw at the start of the season?
I think this is absolutely down to man management, because the criticism we gave them in pre-season was deserved. Because they were poor.
Yeah.
Defensively, particularly, they were awful. They were all over the shop. They were trying to play out the back. They were turning the ball over in their own penalty box. I mean, it was horrendous. But I think what Maresca has done is he's gotten a hold of every single one of them, and basically, he's not going around looking for leaders or trying to make people leaders. I think what he's done is he's concentrated on each individual player and given them tasks in the game. This is what you do. This is what I expect. I don't want you caring about him over there or anybody else. You know, you hear us talking about a team being looking after each other, and I don't think he's doing that. I think he's got every single one of them as an individual and given them a job,
right,
and he's holding them to the highest standard possible. And because they've all actually taken that on board, it actually comes together just organically, without trying to pick somebody out as a leader and make him do something that he's not capable of doing. And I think that's how Maresca's gone about it.
And Nedum, I haven't got the tape, but I'm sure if I asked you why Chelsea are going to finish 6th, you'd give us some nonsense answer and pretty much they'd be the best of the rest of a bad bunch. They really have been a surprise, haven't they?
Yeah, they certainly have. I think why I probably put them in 6th was because at last season they did have some highs, but then the lows were quite low. Whereas I thought a year on, maybe they'll sort of develop a bit more and the lows will rise up just that little bit. But in Maresca, I think he's ended up doing a better job than most of us even anticipated. I think for what he did at Leicester to take him back to the Premier League, that's great. But coming to Chelsea, we've seen managers with that experience before come there and suffer. But I think as Stevie was sort of saying there, I think he's been very good at sort of developing the individuals within that team. I think some of it comes because they are one of the youngest squads, if not the youngest squad in the Premier League at this moment in time. And start of the year, we're talking about, they've got 30 players, they've got 40 players, it's too many players. But then fast forward a couple of months while they're winning games, like Jules made this point that, people can play on a Thursday in the Conference League and some people can play on a Sunday in the league. But ultimately, everybody's playing, so everybody has a sort of feel of actually being out there on the pitch. I think that you deserve to give credit to Maresca. I think the style of play that they have, I think he showed the stat there, 71 goals in 27 games. That is outrageous, but when a manager comes in and tries to sell you a style of football, which involves you scoring a ton of goals, playing really exciting football, and playing to the strengths of some of those young players who he knows can get better, I think it says a lot. And it seems at the moment like it's a perfect fit. And, a few of us are having egg on our faces, and all the Chelsea fans are saying, "Oh, what about us? Why are you not talking about us anymore? Blah, 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 blah." Listen, this is football. This is the way it goes. Predictions always go wrong.
What Chelsea fans do you speak to sound like that? Meanwhile, speaking of false, wrong predictions, everyone thought, I tell you what, City might get a bit tired. They've won four in a row. Might take its toll. Arsenal really have the chance now to step up. They haven't stepped up, Jules. Well, certainly not enough.
Yeah, not enough, and I don't think any of us expected Liverpool to have this incredible season and maybe not even Chelsea playing that well. But Arsenal, yeah, you're right. Overall, on this first half of the season, you could be a bit underwhelmed. I think the Odegaard injury hurt them massively. Maybe not the first few games, but on that period, you can't just be without such a key player for that long, and that hurt them. And Arteta didn't really find a solution without Martin Odegaard in there. The red cards, the three that they had, cost them massively, of course. The Brighton one, the City one especially, too. And then the Bournemouth one away with that first defeat of the season was, I think, difficult for them to take. And yeah, it's been good at times, some of the football that they've played, but overall we expected more from them for sure.
Just a reminder, ESPN FC will be back on your screens tomorrow. Full programme of Boxing Day matches, some interesting ties for myself. Are you in Boxing Day, Steve?
I am.
Oh, me, you and Craig.
I believe so.
What a